because it's really important to follow the last two panel discussions. And I'm saying that because you will actually find out more about the work we are doing as THI with the grantees we're supporting. But more importantly, the last session, the last panel discussion will be all about the people we are trying to help. So we will be hearing from them. I hope in a good way, but if it's a bad way, it will also be a lesson for everyone. So let me start with the next panel discussion, which is titled 14 Years of Impact. What have we achieved? And I highlight and underline we, because this is the work we're doing with different partners. So please join me in welcoming on stage Maria Morogiannis, the General Manager of Regeneration, Jai Mexes, the founder of Odyssey, and of course no other than Dora Economou, the Director of Human Affairs of SEV. So, following my typical fashion, very quickly, who you are, what you do. Jai.
Hello, everyone. Hope you have your coffee shot and feel rejuvenated after a lot of stimulating discussions. So my name is Jai Mexes. I'm the founder and CEO of Odyssey. So I'm part of this crazy people that decided to come in the midst of the financial crisis back to Greece. So I've spent more than 15 years out abroad. I got a scholarship, studied in UK, and decided to come back as an architect and engineer in 2014. So in the midst of the financial crisis, and everyone, including and especially my parents, were like, "What are you doing here? There's no construction, there's nothing."
But there is THI, you said.
Indeed. You know, we are part of this young generation of Greeks that felt that we were always looking the developments of Greece through the lens of our screens, and we wanted to be part of a positive rejuvenation of Greece and to sing a tale that is of resilience and is of societal change. And for us, it was very important to see how we can flip narrations and how we can see the opportunity when people saw only difficulties. And you know, if you're interested in social innovation, actually Greece is a very fertile place to do work because there's a lot of problems to solve. You're not maybe like in Northern Europe where...
It used to be a socialist innovation, now it changed.
Exactly. So in many ways, this journey started Odyssey, and Odyssey is now 10 years old. We started with no networks. We started without having, you know, the right type of surname. But we started with hard work and a vision. And fast forward today, we're a team of 70 full-time people, 100 part-time. We're in Athens, in Thessaloniki together with the support of THI, helping more than 5,000 youth every year train and find employment.
Good. Bravo. Maria, over to you, Regeneration.
Hello, I'm very happy to be here. Thank you for including us in this amazing event. My name is Maria Morogiannis, and I'm the GM of Regeneration. I'm a Greek American, first and foremost, who chose to build my career in Greece. So for the past 20-some years, I've worked at the intersection of talent, careers, higher education, and business. So from an experience of multiple employers, business schools, and now at Regeneration, my career has been focused on the careers of others for almost 30 years. And I guess the question, the focus that I've had is the answer to the question, how do people, talented people, not only access opportunities, but succeed in them? So at Regeneration, what we are doing and what our key focus is now is to help people not only find employment, but really navigate the complexities of what's going on now in the world of work. and to lead them more so. I mean, until now, for the past decade, we focused on reversing the brain drain and giving opportunities to the talent. Now it's more so about helping them be ready for the business, for their careers, for this changing world of AI. And on the other hand, helping employers find that top talent who are ready to add value, to create value from day one. So I guess we've moved from that reversing the brain drain into making them ready, what we call now regen ready.
Very well said. Dora, SEV, Skills for Jobs.
Hello. Not only for Skills for Jobs. Actually, my name is Dora Ikonomou. I represent the Hellenic Federation of Enterprises, which is called SEV in Greek. It's the biggest employer organization in Greece, representing more than 800 companies. We are working closely with many sectors of the economy. Skills for Jobs is one of the major initiatives that we developed this past few years, actually from 2022. Are we going to talk about numbers now? No,
Let's leave it
later
for
on.
the next round.
And I'm a graduate from Pierce, from
There you
THI.
go.
I'm very happy to be here today.
There is a
I used
conspiracy
to be
today.
here when only girls attended this school, so it was back in the 1980s.
90s.
And 1980s, 1988, graduate from Pierce. I always speak about my age. So, and the second important part regarding education, that's I learned a lot of stuff here. Most of all, to become a continuous learner.
Very well said. So, going back to the numbers question, I mean, Maria, I'll start with you. We've been in this marriage, regeneration in THI, since day one. The whole idea started by people like Nikos Koumetis and George Stamas in New York. And I think, you know, what is super important back then was that, of course, there was a discussion about youth unemployment. Of course, the number was like 70%. But, you know, there was a lot of dialogue, there was a lot of talking, but there wasn't so much walking. And when Nikos and George came back, and Panos, of course, Madamopoulos came back with the idea of, let's do something like that, it looked like, you know, we were the crazy ones. And we took a gamble, and we took a bet. And I think that's part of what THI does. You know, the funds that we invest are like the early stage financing on a startup. We have to take some risk, and hopefully if that works out, you scale it up. So speaking about scaling things up and speaking about having a process in place which more or less, when the minister thanked THI for its work in job creation, she was more or less also thanking each one of you. So just tell us in a few words, how do you create this pipeline, this funnel of talent acquisition, and what are your numbers? What are your, let's say, you know, how many people have you put in a job? How many people have you trained? How many hours of training have you offered? The big numbers, the big picture.
It's incredible, the ecosystem that you all created, and I am honored to be a part of it for the past year and a half. I mean, I've watched regeneration from its inception. I was at ACG, at Alba Graduate Business School, heading careers and alumni, and the market embraced this truly innovative program, which came at the right time in the Greek reality. We were in the midst of a financial crisis. Like you said, youth unemployment was at a 40%. Young people were leaving the country, I mean, huge brain drain. And here comes a program that creates this incredible ecosystem connecting graduates with the job market, upskilling them and offering employment. So it is an honor to be a part of it. What has happened until now, which I was a witness to, not part of the organization, over 850,000 hours of training, of upskilling. 11,000 young talent graduated from regen programs. They are part of our alumni base. What our new team now is putting in place is an alumni community. These are the people who have experienced what regen has to offer, and they're ready to give back to the new talent of regeneration. 5,000 young people have found jobs through the program, 5,000 plus. So that's an incredible number. And what am I missing? 51,000 people have been assessed through our assessment process, which means they've learned something more about themselves. So the numbers are incredible. Now, what we're focusing on now, as I said, is more so on making the talent ready for the ambiguity that's coming, for the uncertainty, and training them in 3 basic pillars: AI readiness, career readiness, and business readiness. This is our main focus. And how do we access this talent? Similar to what Regen has done in the past, going to universities, getting that talent that isn't so familiar with what's going on in the corporate world, in the world of business, bringing them in, assessing them, and preparing them for what's out there.
Yeah, thank you. And I mean, incredible, the numbers you just shared, they sound like, 50,000, 5,000, whatever thousand. It's like huge numbers. It's, you're really turning the needle there. Jai, over to you. We met back in the COVID years when, having a Zoom was basically the only option, not a nice thing to have. And I remember, probably back then when we met, whoever was on the Zoom window with you was more or less the team. Nowadays, the team is how big? Is it 80? 70 plus, 80, almost 80 people. That's a spectacular scale up within less than 10 years from when we met you. So just tell us a little bit about your story, share some numbers, and how you managed to scale things up. I mean, the minister this morning said, we're looking for plumbers, we're looking for painters, we're looking for construction workers. Every time I come to your offices, I see you're training for something new, maids, crews for the yachts. I mean, you're incredible. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Thank you, Michael. And, it is about working with strong partners that really moves this needle. So a few things about Odyssey first. The way the model is structured is it's based on maybe 2 core offerings. One is technical vocational training, and the other is employability. This is also coupled with entrepreneurship and relief activities as supplementary. The 2 powerhouses are these. And how this works is that each and every person that knocks on our door, and to give you a sense of today's numbers, we have more than 8,000 people, unique people, applying every year for our services. And each of these persons get filtered. We're able to serve about half of them, about 4,000 to 5,000 people every year, connects with our career counselors. A lot of our career counselors are even here today supporting the event. These are the people that come face to face with our beneficiaries. And they support them throughout all the process of skill assessment, training, employment, and even post-employment. So even after 1 year after they find their work, we follow them up every 3 months to see all of their integration path. But a step back, who are our people? Who are the people that we're serving? As you know, and we have heard the statistics, youth unemployment was massive in Greece and still is the 2nd worst in the European Union after the Spanish. So for us, our immediate focus was youth, 17 to 34. That's 70% of the people that we serve. About 55% are young Greeks that are defined as needs, not in education, training, or employment, and are lacking the economic ability to pay a training in a private institution, but have a very strong ethos and a will to enter the labor market. The other 45%, and this fluctuates, sometimes it's 55 or 50, it's more or less is our guest communities, is refugees, migrants, and asylum seekers. These people are people who might have the skills in their country. They have huge resilience, incredible soft skills. They are the fabric that created incredible economies, like in the US or the UK. And these people truly are able to have a willpower to enter the labor market and enter also in job positions that maybe Greeks don't go, like the hospitality and the construction sector that have one of the largest gaps and shortages. So the model of Odyssey is very different from typical models, that it's based a lot on hands-on training. So we created a lot of work simulation spaces because we believe in a merging and a marriage of theory with practice. We don't want to give theoretical knowledge. We want to give practical knowledge. And we try to condense the learning gap, the learning period, from maybe 2 years that is of typical education. You remember also Nikki Kirameos, our minister, mentioning that they have these programs, but it's not able for someone who either has been unemployed or is looking to feed his family to be able to invest 2 years or 3 years in education before he finds employment. So this is where Odyssey comes in. It provides the ability to get hands-on learning enter the labor market, and become quickly competitive. More than 45% of our graduates find a job immediately after their completion. Within 3 weeks of their graduation, they land employment.
And what was also interesting in your model when we visited you back then was the fact that you had companies paying you to do the training so that they can actually do the hiring.
Exactly.
So they said, we are in a crisis here. We want people for our, I remember it was a pizza chain or something like that. And they said, we want people to can actually bake a pizza or something like that. And you said, okay, I can train them. How many? You want 100, and then somehow
Exactly.
you created the pipeline. So that was very, very well, said and very well positioned.
Yes, a quick note on that. This is not possible without the private sector, and this is where education is moving. It's moving into two directions. One is experiential learning, and the other is tailor-made trainings. So we need to close the gap between the education and the labor market. We all are part of this generation of young Greeks that all were pushed to become doctors, engineers, and lawyers, and we never got the ability to see what are the capabilities out there. And suddenly now we see that blue-collar jobs, especially with the AI, are having great competitive salaries. Plumbers, electricians, and woodworkers are the most sought-after professions worldwide currently. Who are making the data centers? So what we're trying, and this is a very nice also coincidence of our decision to go blue collar, is now that we are in the epicenter and we're able to give for vulnerable groups a competitive career path. They're not only able to make them the meet-ends.
That was my point also, that you somehow turn the description of what you're doing from finding them a job to basically building careers for them, which is a huge difference.
Exactly, and we have more than 800 active companies absorbing these people immediately, and we tailor-make their needs, and many times they also offer us their facilities. Okay. For example, Hyatt Regency, in Thessaloniki, in the youth center that you're supporting us with, has also offered their premises to do the trainings inside.
It's incredible.
And this actually creates a beautiful synergy between philanthropy, between the private sector, and of course the civil society space.
Of course. Speaking about the private sector, of course, we have Seb with us. I mean, Dora, from where you sit in a very different, corner on the table, meaning that you're more on the employer side. So that means you have a better, probably, and more direct knowledge of, what employers are looking nowadays in Greece, whether they can find it or not, where are the gaps. So I want you to tell us a little bit more about what are the gaps that you're trying to, match or reduce in the market right now with the program, the Skills for Jobs, and also share some numbers around your impact and what you have been doing the last few years in Greece.
Thank you, but before that, I would like to make a connection with all programs.
Of course.
Skills for Jobs started back in 2022, and the first partner was Regeneration. We didn't know each other then, but we actually cooperated, and this is the ecosystem that we have created in the past, and we are very proud that Hellenic Initiative has come to support as well. Regeneration is number one. Junior Achievement is another initiative that you have supported in the past, and it started from SEV back in 21 years ago, from our president, Odysseas Kyriakopoulos. Plus Alba Graduate Business School.
Venture Garden, our favorite.
Okay, so we support Alba in terms of executive education for our members, et cetera, and the scholarships that already have been announced for this year, along with the American College of Greece. So we are part of the same ecosystem. Technical skills. Everybody talks about universities and skills and soft skills, but we lack technicians. Skills for Jobs focused in different areas in Greece from 2022 until today. Northern Greece, Xanthi, Thessaloniki, Central Greece, Larissa, Volos, and Attica in different specialties such as electrical automation, industrial maintenance, IT, what was the first program that you supported us, and exports. These are the areas that the Greek economy needs right now to become bigger, more competitive. So we are aligned in this area as well. In terms of graduates of programs, each Skills for Job program can be completed by only 15 graduates. And there is a reason behind it, because we're working very closely with each one of them, which is around 150 hours of training per person. So you understand that we cannot have a lot of graduates as per year ahead. So until then, 251 graduates that found employment immediately, or they upgraded their careers in the areas that they were. So the numbers are smaller, however, the impact with junior achievement, ALBA, and skills for jobs is much bigger than one would expect from SEV.
And it's amazing because we have been working for a couple of years now together. It's amazing when you decide, let's do this there, because you're also not just in Athens, you run programs like that all around Greece. It's very interesting for us to see what's the thinking behind the decision making that you have. So it's not just tossing a coin.
No.
You say, there are like 5 pharma, companies about to launch in this area. They have 0 people with this sort of industry. They need someone who can actually do X, Y, Z and help a chemical engineer. So that's the specific position we will be training people for at that specific geography. And I think that's a very, very interesting approach. And that's also the value of being part of SEV as a program brings to the game. So once again, a very big thank you for...
Thank you for your support. And actually, we start with a questionnaire with the employers, and then we develop the program with them, and then we ask them to participate in the interview process, so to ensure that they will be employable afterwards. And they support us in the soft skills. You're going to see later on today one of our members supporting the young people here for the interview readiness lab that you're going to attend later. So we're going to talk about it later on as well.
Okay. So, Maria, over to you. Probably, I'm not sure if it's a difficult or not difficult question, but, 5,000 jobs, whatever, 1 million hours of training, blah, 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 blah. Amazing. Impactful, forget about it. No one has ever done that. I'm going to reverse the question now and say, is there a story of one person that you met through the program, I mean a beneficiary of the graduate of the program, that somehow, when you drove back home, you said, even if it was just that story, whatever I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, it's still worth it. So I know it's 5,000 jobs, I know it's so many companies I'm working with, but the story of this person, of this lady, of this boy, whatever, it really touched my heart. So if you can, please share that story.
Like I said, I've been with the organization for about 1.5 years now. So I am just starting to learn about the stories of our incredible alumni, the 11,000. And in fact, we just launched, our team, the Regen alumni community. You attended the event, and it is amazing, the stories that these individuals have to share. And it really makes us proud how we've affected their careers. But there is one story that I recently learned from, and it's close to my heart because I know this person. She's an alumna of Alba Graduate Business School. She graduated, she was a student of mine. She did a master's in HR and was one of the first attendees of the program in 2015. And she recently shared a post on LinkedIn. You must have seen it because she shared this event and wrote this beautiful tribute to Regen and thanking Regen for changing her life and her career trajectory. Because back in 2015, right in the heart of the Greek financial crisis, when all of that, the brain drain and the youth unemployment was at that record high, she was ready to leave the country. And here comes Regen. She joins the program and gets a job after she completes the program with Vodafone in Greece and stayed and completely changed her life, her career trajectory. She worked with Vodafone for years. She went to Alba, got her master's, and now she's heading the HR department of a shipping company. And the tribute to Regen is incredible. So this is what we do. This is the impact that regeneration has on the youth, not just connecting talent to employers, but really affecting their lives.
And we will be hearing more of these stories on the next panel when we have actually the honor to have 3 of our Regen alumni joining us. So please stay with us for that discussion also. Jay, I mean, as I said, you have a huge team, you're doing different things in different cities. We were blessed enough to help you launch your center in Thessaloniki. It was an amazing time, and we're still supporting it. So I wanted to ask you the following. What is the blue-collar, market in Greece right now? Are there any, spikes? Are there any specific, requests for different talents? I mean, is it the hospitality sector? Is it the logistics? Is it all of the above? Is it, we're doing enough in Athens, but oh my God, I wish we could actually do more in Crete or Larissa, which I know we had a discussion about. How do you see the market expanding? I mean, if you had to place a bet and do even more of what you're doing, what would you do? Would you actually expand the sectorial address, or would you actually go in other geographies in Greece?
Yeah, it's a great question. Thank you, Michael. So actually, let's throw in some numbers to see where we are right now in Greece. So the combined labor shortages are actually per year exceeding 300,000.
Wow.
So we're talking about numbers unprecedented. And this is the two bigger industries and sectors where these gaps are is in the hospitality and the construction sector. And actually, construction sector is growing by about 3.5 to 5% every year, and the demand of the labor shortages is actually on the same level of hospitality, which is typically unheard of the last decade in Greece, because construction was very stagnant. Of course, there are other sectors. We have seen logistics, we have seen retail, and manufacturing as well, but the biggest gaps are there. And if I also can go a little bit deeper, even in the hospitality sector, there are subsectors and specific professions like maids and F&B that have one of the biggest sub-needs, actually. We're talking about each one of these two that I mentioned, for example, is 15,000 gaps every year.
Wow.
So, because we talk every day with different restaurants, big five-star hotel chains, we cover 50 to 100 job positions per year in them. We have very large collaborations and contracts. We see that they're in such desperation, Michael, that, for example, in a menu a la carte of a restaurant, they're actually rotating the same staff, and they're cutting down the menu options because they don't have enough chefs and enough, actually, mostly assistant chefs and kitchen assistants to support the production. And this what means? It means a fall of the quality of our prime revenue generation as a country. The same goes also with agriculture. It has a huge need. Just to give you a sense of scale and numbers, we have 3 billion produced in olive oil production, right? You know that we lose half of it. We lose as a country 1.5 billion because it never gets picked. The olives stay on the trees, and we don't have enough pickers. So we are losing 50% of the country's revenue, which is more than 1.5 billion per year, because we don't have enough pickers to take the olives from the trees. This is the lost opportunity, and this is why it's such an important situation for the productivity of the Greek companies, and that's why we work very closely with them. And very interesting also information about the thing that you mentioned about, it's not only sectorial the way we are thinking for the next step, and it's not also, it used to be just, for example, Athens and the islands, the gaps. It's not the case anymore. We see it nationwide, and especially in Thessaloniki, in northern Greece, many different locations have enormous shortages. That didn't used to be the case, because a lot of, especially in northern Greece, a lot of people exited the country.
And what is important with what you're doing is not just that you can identify the needs, is that you can actually react very quickly. So as you said, it doesn't take 4 years to set up a program and go there and have them being trained and so on and so forth. When you just go there, you spend a few months, job done.
Yeah. Less than that. I want to give you an actual example. We have
you have the mobile units also.
We have the mobile units, the mobile educational units that go in all the technical vocational schools. With we call them EPALs, and they go. We do more than 100 missions every year for all the distant locations, and there are so many principals of these schools sending us, come to our school as well. And what we do there is we donate equipment. In these schools, the technical vocational schools, they don't even have door handles. We 3D print them, we donate equipment, we do train of trainers, we do employability support for the youth, because these youth can actually have really competitive salaries, and they have been stigmatized.
Yeah.
Vocational training has been stigmatized, and we want to destigmatize it and bring the positivity out there. Another example is our employability team. We were asked, because we work with the Greek government, especially the Minister of Migration, they asked us to train 3,000 people in 6 months in all the refugee camps in Greece, and to set up employability support offices. So now we're in 3 refugee camps. We're training 500 people per month, and we are able to, every week, to match about 40 people with job opportunities in the local companies. So that's what I want to say. It's a nationwide situation. It's not only centered as it used to be, Athens and in the islands. Yes, exactly.
Dora, as I said, being at SEV, looking at the new generation entering the workforce, what is the feeling that you get from the SEV members when it comes to acquiring new talent? Are they looking for the same things? Are they looking for what they did like 10 years ago? Are they looking for different skills? Can they find what they're looking for? What's the feeling you get?
The ability to learn is as important. Sorry about that.
I hypnotized you.
Yeah, I do that because I think that there is a noise behind it. That's why I keep it here. So thank you very much for the question. Coming back. So the question is, how important is education? How important is the skills that we acquire? So what we have learned is as important as the ability to continuously learn for all companies. They are looking for soft skills. I think they mentioned it in the previous panels. They are looking for adaptability. They are looking for leadership. They are looking for results orientation. They are not looking only for technical skills and a degree. It's not important to be a lawyer, not, let's say, anything else. The technical skills are very important. The hands-on experience, as Jay mentioned before, it's important for all. And now they are looking for the person and not just the professional. The person, the attitude is very important. I think Panayotis mentioned it before. The attitude is very important for that. To start with. So we are contributing to this way through Skills for Jobs, because we are not only building technical skills, we are building people with soft skills and career readiness to enter an industrial plant, and not only a company, in the headquarters that every young person in Greece dreams. And this is important about technical education, vocational training. In Greece, it is considered the second chance. It's τα σχολεία δεύτερης ευκαιρίας, as we say in Greece. But it is not. Vocational training is what will make Greece more competitive and more productive in the future.
Okay, so final question. I hope it's not the question that I'm getting fired and it's not the $1 million question. But let's imagine you were sitting on the stage and somehow you had, a couple of board members from a foundation based in the US that somehow supports job creation, and its acronym is THI. And you had, you see these guys, they're great, they love you, we love them, whatever. But the question is this. What is it that THI can do on top of what we're already doing to help you do even more? And it can be funding, I get it. This is the $1 million part of the question. I understand that. It can be, please help us with the policies, please help us with the ministers, please help us with this, please help us with that. It can be something different. But if you had the chance to ask something for us, that's a lesson not for the younger generation, that's a lesson for us. What would it be? How can we make your lives easier? How can we make your impact larger? You have the answer. Okay, there you go.
I'm not going to miss this opportunity, man.
This is where I'm getting fired.
Of course. So no, I want to be very candid and open with actionable things, right? Yeah. So I think 2 things are very important. I'll start with the first, that has to do with the Greek realities. So in Greece, my hardest thing is not always funding. It is to find worthy people to build with. So I think this is always very tough, to find people who, unfortunately, because of the multiple crises, we have been used to so many slaps here that we are thinking very short term. And I always strive to find people that can think long-term, because we are here to do the systemic change. We're not here to create our little shop. We're here to plant seeds and to do some structural changes. And that you need people who have long-term vision. So I think THI and this network of supporters of THI have an incredible ability themselves, but also through their different allegiance and connections to be able to help us connect with those people who are serious builders and systemic changers. So I think this is one very critical piece. And the second has to do with funding, but
Your microphone is cutting off.
yes, yes. No, but I want to share the reality of it. A lot of times we see that there are many programs and funding opportunities that are very fragmented. And this is very important, that when you're talking about integration, when you're talking about empowerment of people, it is not a sprint. It is a stratified effort that brought us 10 years to where we are here. We are, 10 years was the Odyssey, and the Odyssey is also this year becoming 10 years old. So a nice coincidence. But the truth of the matter is that you need funding programs that are multi-year to match the type of work that you're doing. So having this type of horizon really helps us also invest. And our founding supporters have actually been from the US. And they have not only done multi-year funding to help us propel our growth, but also done unrestricted funding. Mm-hmm. And in this gives us the ability to invest in core areas, and to invest in people, to invest in bringing talent from the corporate sector into the civil society space and create this beautiful
Without
marriage.
having the anxiety of what happens tomorrow. I need to pay the payroll of the 80 people or whatever.
Exactly.
I understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is a very important part, and I think that these two things, people and long-term thinkers combined with funding continuity, is a beautiful recipe for success.
And I like the order that you put things. It's really, it means a lot. Thank you. Maria, I mean, we follow with you, more or less the venture philanthropy approach. We have people like George, Nikos, the co-founders, Mike Manatos, sitting on the advisory board, on the governance board of Regeneration. So basically, it's like, it is an investment for us. It's like, every time we receive a report, we screen the numbers, we say, what can we do, what can we not do? So on top of everything that we're doing, what is it that we can do even more for you?
It is overwhelming, because the support that we receive from you is incredible. And I say this truthfully, that it is impressive. And me leading this organization now, and our team is here to attest to this, we feel that support all the time, whether it's answering a question, helping us. Of course, you're funding us. We've received over €2 million in 12 years. That's outstanding. So it's not so much, yes, to continue that support, but to help us take Regen to the next level, to that next 10 years. Where are we going? What is the trajectory for this organization? Yeah. Because things are changing. Like we said, we're no longer talking about a brain drain. So how can we take this incredible organization to continue to help Greek youth, open doors for us with contacts in the US, which you already do. So even more so, helping us continue to create those ecosystems that will support us.
Excellent.
I mean, we're in contact almost every day, so. And we're
Dora?
grateful.
Funding is very important. We represent the private sector. However, I believe that the biggest success of the Hellenic Initiative is this ecosystem here, that I feel that you need to invest long-term, which is important. Listening to Jay, I had some business opportunities to discuss later on, and I think it's very, 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 very important for Greece that you brought all these initiatives together. And it has to do with vocational training and young people, which is important again for Greece.
Thank you.
And investing on us is creating the right mindset for Greece. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Please give a round of applause to Dora, Maria, and Jay for their incredible work.
Thank you.